Did you know that life coaches are needed now more than ever? I'm Frank Macri, founder of Thriving Coach Academy. I've trained over 1,000 coaches and helped them launch their own successful coaching businesses. If you want to make an incredible income and impact as a coach and have a lot of fun doing it, I'll show you exactly how to get it done. This is Life Coaching Secrets. What's up, coaches? In this episode, I'm going to talk about a concept that I came up with called desirable problems. This is one of the coolest brain hacks that you can use, especially if you're a person who worries about lots of things. Now, as an overthinker myself, this has been super helpful for me to understand. So this concept will be very useful for you. And also, it's something that you can introduce to your clients if they struggle focusing on the negative, or maybe they're getting a little bit pessimistic about things. So as I go into this, I want to share a little bit of brain science. There's this concept called the negativity bias, and it basically means that there's a part of our brain that looks for what will go wrong. And it's there for a reason. It's because it's a function of our survival. It's trying to protect us from potential threats and potential things that could harm us. So we have this negativity bias where we're more skewed to focus on the negative. So we are wired as humans to focus on potential problems that could have. Now, you're always going to have that part of your brain that's going to be looking for those potential problems that you might experience, especially as you go out and pursue the big goals that you have in your life. So it's an impossible feat to try and completely rid yourself of worry. And a lot of people think that in order to overcome fear or problems, they should focus on being positive or optimistic. And this is really not effective, because that negativity bias is still going to bring you back to the problems the moment that you aren't being optimistic. You're reminded again about all those bad things that could happen. So what I want to share is a way for you to focus on what I call desirable problems. And that means focusing on problems that you want to have. So there are some problems that have an upside. While they are still very stressful, it's the stress that you secretly want to have in your life. So these types of problems, desirable problems, they're really growing pains that you will have at the next level of success in your life. And when you can focus your brain on those problems, what it does is it satisfies that part of your brain that needs to worry about something, while also planting the seed in your mind that you're going to be successful. Isn't this good? So I call this desirable problems. And again, it's when you direct that fearful part of your brain to worry about problems you would secretly love to have, rather than having it worry about a problem where there's really no upside. So let me share an example. If you're a coach or an entrepreneur, your brain might worry about finding clients. Now, worrying about finding clients doesn't have any upside. It doesn't inspire you to put yourself out there when you're sitting around being anxious that you're not going to make any money. So instead of worrying about finding clients, you can instead worry about how you're going to handle an overbooked calendar when you have people trying to get on the phone with you because they want to hire you. Right? That is a desirable problem that you want to have. You might also, instead of worrying about finding clients, you can choose to worry about having potential clients who are annoyed with you because your program sold out so quickly. Now, in order to have that problem, you need to have a sold out program. So by worrying about that problem happening, you're also planting the seed inside your brain that you're going to sell out your program. Now, instead of worrying about finding clients, you can also instead worry about making so much money in your business that you don't even know what to do with it, which is a real problem that I had a couple years ago. The first time that I had made $60,000 in a month, I completely freaked out. I didn't know how to allocate that amount of money responsibly. So I ended up hiring a financial advisor, and I was under a lot of stress trying to pick out the best way to invest that money, determine how much of that to pay to myself, how much to invest back into my business. And I remember in the middle of a session with my financial advisor, I said, you know what, this is really stressful, but what a good problem to have. Like if there's any problem I would want to be stressed about, this is it. So let's say that you have a desire to earn $1 million in a year as a coach. Think about what are the desirable problems that making $1 million in a year as a coach, what are the desirable problems that will create for you? Maybe it's that you're going to need to hire a team because your business is growing so quickly, and that's challenging. Hiring a team is challenging. I've experienced it myself, but it's a good problem to have because you're able to afford to pay a team, right? So that's a problem you would desire to have. Or maybe if you're earning $1 million a year as a coach, that's so much money that you need to figure out how you're going to invest it, what you're going to do with it. So it's way more beneficial for you to focus on this kind of problem instead of the problem of not making money as a coach. The problems are going to be there no matter what. You have that negativity bias in your brain that's looking for some kind of problem. You might as well have it focus on the problems that you want to have. So one of our students, one of our coaches in the academy, Allison, there was a problem that she was going through recently where she was having too many clients, too many paying clients, and she wasn't sure how to scale her business, how much more to charge, and it was very stressful for her. And we hear this more and more from a lot of our coaches in the academy. And I remember when I was talking to her about it, I said, isn't this a great problem to have? I know it's very stressful for you, but what an amazing problem. Of all the problems that you'd want to have, this is one of those desirable problems. So think about something that you want in your life right now. What is a goal that you would like to achieve? Okay, have that clear in your mind. And now I want you to think about what would the best case scenario look like if you achieved that goal. So imagine that the goal's achieved. Okay, if you're a coach listening, maybe you have a goal to earn $100,000 in a year. Now I want you to consider what problem would be created if you were to achieve that goal. What problem would achieving that goal present to you? That's the key question that you've got to ask yourself. So it's okay if you haven't achieved the result yet. What you want to do is imagine you achieved the result, and now you're going to think about, what problems might happen when I achieve that goal? Because remember, you're going to have problems no matter what. Your brain's always going to look for them. So when you focus on the problems that are going to happen when you achieve your goals, these are actually wins in disguise, right? They're problems that you desire. So the key is for you to focus on those problems. Remember, there's always going to be problems your brain's going to search for. So you're not creating more stress for yourself, right? Your brain's going to find something to be worried about no matter what, because that's what part of our brains do. So here's how this really does trick the brain and move you towards success. When you focus on desirable problems, you're priming your brain to get the result you want by focusing on the problem that would come about when you obtain that result. So you're kind of assuming that you will achieve the goal. And it tricks your brain into believing that the goal is just going to be achieved, but what's worried about is all the problems that are going to happen when you achieve the goal. So in order to do this properly, in order to really connect with your desirable problem and prime your brain towards your own success, you really have to put yourself inside of your vision. You really need to step into you achieving that goal that you want to achieve. Right? You need to put yourself there and really start considering what are the stresses that are going to occur when you achieve that goal. And the key word is when. So you're assuming and you're having your brain assume that you're going to get there. And now you're going to focus on the problems that are going to happen when you're there. Okay? So that part of your brain that requires the negativity, it's like, yeah, problems. Just give us a problem to focus on. Whatever it is, we just need a problem because that's what that part of the brain requires. But then there's that more evolved part of your brain that's like cackling in the corner thinking, we're making moves, we're getting it done. So it's tricking that part of the brain that needs to have a problem because it's feeding it a problem that we secretly want to have. It's like one of the things I think about is when I used to have a dog, in order to sometimes we had to give our dog medicine, and she just would refuse to take the medicine if we would try to just give her the pill. So we'd have to wrap the pill up in a piece of turkey or some kind of meat and then give it to our dog, and she would eat it just fine. So it's like, yes, we're in. Okay, we got the medicine inside. So for some reason, I think about that when it comes to tricking the brain. It's like you are just kind of cloaking it in giving it what it wants, right? You're cloaking your success in this problem, and your brain is that fearful part of your brain that needs problems in order to function is like, oh, good, we're getting a problem. This is what we want. But really, you're also planting that seed that you're going to get the success that you want as well. So this can be applied to any area of life. For example, in sports, if you have a goal in a particular sport, the ultimate dream, right, for you, it might be to, let's just say, win an Olympic gold medal. So what problem would that create for you when you achieve that Olympic gold medal? Focus on the problem that creating that result is going to have. So it may be, you might think, I'm just guessing here, maybe an Olympian or someone that aspires to become an Olympic gold medal winner, they are worried that when they win the gold, they're going to get so much media attention. There's going to be reporters and journalists that are going to want to know their story and have them on TV. So you focus on the problem of that, of winning the medal and having all the media attention. And by focusing on that, you create the inevitability that you're going to achieve that goal. You see how this works? Isn't this cool? I geek out about this stuff. So if you're single and you're looking to find love, you can apply this concept. You can apply desirable problems to your dating life. So rather than worrying about whether you're going to find the right partner for you, what you could instead consider is that there's soon going to be too many qualified people out there interested in you, and you're going to have to turn people away. And you can start to look forward to that happening. And one day it's going to happen. You're going to create that result because you're so focused on it, right? So in summary, your brain's always going to look for problems. You can try to be as optimistic as you want to be. There's always going to be that part of our brain that needs to have a problem in order to function. It's just part of our survival to have that part of our brain there. But instead of focusing on the problems that don't benefit you, you can start giving your brain problems that you secretly desire. And by doing that, you are priming your brain to believe that you are going to get the results you want. And when you do that, you start showing up in a way, you start showing up in your life that moves you closer to that result. So what would be the best problem for you to have in your life right now? What would be the absolute best problem to have? All right, that's what I got in this episode on desirable problems. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Hey, would you like access to powerful coaching tools you can use on yourself and clients right away? For being a listener of the podcast, I'm giving you a VIP guest pass to get a sneak peek into my coach training program. Inside, you'll learn our coaches' secret tool they use to transform their clients' lives. And you'll also get a training on how to launch a coaching business. Just head over to www.thrivingcoachacademy.com/VIP to get started. I'll see you on the inside.